thank you for tuning in to another video. This one is going to be on how to have a good at-home workout. Now, I know it can be very frustrating that your gyms are closed or that you had to, revert to your at-home workouts, but I'm here to tell you that you can still get fit working out at home. You can still maintain your muscle if you've, been going to the gym for years and using the equipment. You just have to figure out a way that's going to work for you. So, I have a few tips on how you can make your workouts at home very effective. So keep watching and I'm going to give you all of the information. So the first thing we need to understand is when you're going to work out at home versus the gym is you have to think to yourself, why are we so attracted to using the machines at the gym? Like, why do we like using the machines so much? So the reason it is because one, machines help with overloading weight, so you can put on a ton of weight on machines, and you can lift it because of the support it gives you. That's the second point I want to get to, is the amount of support that machines give you. So first, you're able to overload more weight, and the second one is support. So when you see those handles on machines and they're there for a reason. The pads are there for a reason. You put your arm on the pad for a bicep curl for a reason, okay? It's to give you support. It's to make sure that you're inhibiting other muscles from doing work by making sure that the only muscle contracting is the one that you're trying to use. So again, we can do that at home. Like, just because you don't have machines doesn't mean we can't get that same effect. So what we need to do at home is we need to find ways that we can give support to ourselves with our exercises, and we need to also find a way that we can overload the muscle, and we can get to fatigue. Like, that's the goal, right? You can still fatigue your muscles at home. You can still get a challenging workout, and you just have to try harder, and you just have to make sure you're putting yourself in the right position in order to contract. So I'm going to show you kind of the equipment that I use at home. Guys, it's very inexpensive. Like, first of all, you don't even need any equipment, but if you feel like you want something, I really recommend resistance bands. So I'll show you the ones I have here. So they look like this. They're just from Amazon. This is like I think this is a medium, and then there's all these other different resistance. I think maybe the red one's the lightest, but they have different resistance, so you can challenge your muscle. The smaller muscles with the lighter ones, or whatever your body needs. You can also attach them. So if, let's say, like, the heaviest one was too light for me, I can add on another one, and then it'll be that much harder, right? So these attach, and you can do tons of exercises with this, honestly. Like, look, they attach, that you can make it longer, you can loop them. So yeah, this is where you guys are gonna have to get creative. You're gonna have to play around with, like, what you have. So yeah, so you can do tons of exercises with bands. You can do banded curls. You can do, you can do kickbacks with these for your glutes. You can do rows with them. You can do lateral raises. Honestly, you can do pretty much every body part you can think of with resistance bands. Also, let me know, guys, if you want to see, different exercises with bands. I can make separate videos, like, legs with bands, or back with bands, or my favorite banded exercises. Just let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, and I'll make videos for that. But yeah, so I got this on Amazon. It came in this box here, and it also came with some handles. So guys, this is really good. Like, come on, you can literally mimic any kind of cable exercise. It also came with a skipping rope, so that's great too if you guys need to do your cardio. Skipping is a great alternative. You don't need a bike at the gym. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need the Stairmaster. All you gotta do is work hard, okay? So this is good. Okay, what's another? Oh yeah, I have these ankle weights. So These are, you can put these on your ankles and do glute kickbacks. And what I also like about these is you can also train your quads with this. So you can curl it up on your legs. You can sit on the bench and then just do a quad extension. So guys, like, you're not screwed if you're at home and you want to get fit. Like, that's an excuse. Like, let's get rid of that. Because there's so many different things you can do. You just have to focus and you gotta get innovative. That's it. Again, guys, you don't have dumbbells? These are beers. Ciders, beers. You can do curls with this. You can do lateral raises with this. Like, you can do anything. Shoulder press, right? Your muscle doesn't know if it's a dumbbell or if it's a can of pop or a beer. Like, it really doesn't know. So as long as you're getting the tension and you're building it up over time, as you're doing it, and you're really focusing on the burn and you're going to failure, you're going to grow. Like, your body doesn't know if it's 8 reps or if it's 9 reps or if it's 12 or 20. Like, your body doesn't know. Honestly, just work hard. Make sure you're hitting failure, muscle fatigue, and then you're going to grow. You're going to get progress. So yeah. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the setup, the intent, and the execution. This is how you do any exercise properly. So if it's at home or if it's at the gym, same thing. So your setup has to be proper. You have to set up your body so that you're in the optimal position for whatever muscle you're trying to work out. You're in that optimal position to contract. So let's say if I'm doing a shoulder press. If I'm in this position here and I'm starting, like, this is the improper position. I'm going to get a lot of trap, first of all, because the dumbbell's in line with my trap. And then, if you set up improperly, you're never going to get a good contraction because the setup's wrong. That's the very first step. If your setup's not proper, like, your exercise has gone to shit. So, let's say for a shoulder press, what I have to do is I have to bring my arms a bit more in front. So now it's in line with the muscle I'm trying to work. So that's the first step, is to set up proper. You want to make sure that your joints have to be stacked on top of each other in order to load the muscle properly. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the intent. What are you intending to do? What are you trying to do to contract this muscle? Because if you're not thinking about what you're intending to do from going from point A to point B, then you can be contracting a whole different muscle. Like, let's say if I'm not thinking about what the intention is, I'm just going through the motion. Now I'm using my arms. Now I'm bending my arms, I'm using my triceps, and then, I'm using my traps too because I'm shrugging. Like, your intent has to be there. Your intent has to be proper, or again, you're not gonna have the outcome. It's not about going from point A to point B. Like, that's not how you contract a muscle properly. I can go from point A to point B any other way, and then I won't challenge the muscle properly. So, okay, so guys, you have to think about what you're doing when you're doing each rep. Every single rep, you should be thinking. If you're not thinking, you're not getting the most out of your contraction, and you're certainly not challenging yourself enough. So that's the second one. Your intent has to be proper. So for me, when I do a shoulder press, I'm thinking about my intention, which is to press the dumbbell, yes, but as I'm pressing, I'm also thinking about driving my elbows in towards each other and then coming a bit back too. So, instead of going like this, you're not fully contracting the shoulder because the joints at the top are not stacked on top of each other. So if I really want to shorten the muscle completely, I need to bring the arm in so that at the very top, my wrist is in line with my elbow and it's in line with my shoulder. So that's a fully contracted position of the shoulder. So that's why your intent is super important. Like, if I didn't have the proper intent, I could be working an entirely different muscle. Just because it's called a shoulder press does not mean that I'm working my shoulders. Again, I could be working my triceps. I could be working my traps. Okay, and then the next one is the execution. It kind of ties into the intent, but how are you executing it? Are you going through the full range of motion? Are you using momentum on the way up? Because that's going to take away from the tension, because you're You know, you're just using momentum. You're taking the path of least resistance. With resistance training, with growing your muscle, you want to take the path of most resistance, okay? So you want to challenge your muscle for the longest amount of time, not the shortest amount of time. Doing a shoulder press like this is much more difficult, and you get much more muscle fibers recruited if opposed to doing it like this, where you're just going through it. You're here and you're just launching it, right? You're not going to get as much muscle fibers recruited if you launch the weight. So make sure that when you're doing any type of exercise, you're slowing the motion down. You're slowly contracting the muscle. You're making sure you're going through the range of motion, and you're taking the most amount of time to contract the muscle so it gets the most amount of attention, okay? And you never want to, at the top, you never want to hold it at the top, because we know that at the very top and at the very bottom of the exercise, that's when the muscles challenged actually the least. So when the muscles challenge the most is in between the very top and the very bottom. I can hold dumbbells here for a long time, okay? But what about here? Probably not. And then I can hold dumbbells here for a long time up here too. But here, probably not. So that's what it comes down to, guys. Your setup, your intent, and how you execute the exercise is going to dictate what muscle you're working, and two, how effective your contraction is during that exercise. And if your contractions are not optimal, it's going to take you a long time to actually reach failure. And we want to get to failure as soon as possible. So we don't want to do a million reps, right? So how we can avoid that is by going through the motion very strict and very slow, so that the muscle fibers are getting more challenged. They're being more challenged so that you don't have to do as many reps. You fatigue sooner. So yeah, those are my tips, guys. Your setup, your intent, and your execution are critical for not even just at-home workouts, for doing a proper exercise in general. Alright guys, so the next point I want to talk to you guys about is having the proper support so that you can contract optimally. So the muscle that you're using is mainly the muscle you're trying to use, and other muscles are not jumping in to help you because you've inhibited all the other muscles from being able to jump in by creating enough support for yourself, for, you know, creating restraint, for creating an opposite force to contract again. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. I'm going to do a leg extension here, and I'm going to show you the difference between not supporting yourself and then supporting yourself, and, you know, how the muscles challenged differently. So I'm going to show you. I have my ankle weights on right here. So let's pretend this is the pad for the leg extension. I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to hold on to anything. I'm just going to let my body do whatever. I'm just going to, you know, extend my legs. So I'm just extending. Okay. You see how my body's rocking? It's because now if I don't pull myself in, I somehow have to, you know, balance myself out, because when my legs are coming up and they're heavy, it's going to outweigh the weight on the other side of my body, which is my head and my neck and my upper body, right? So this is now heavier than my upper body. So obviously, because of gravity, I'm going to have to pull myself back to try to balance myself out so I don't fall over, right? So when you do this, like now I'm getting a core contraction, so it's not all my quads doing the work. Now it's some of my back. Now I can feel it in my calves. So that's not a very optimal way to support yourself. Since you're not supporting yourself, you're not getting the most contraction that you could get. So I'm going to show you now how to support yourself so that you can get the most out of your exercise. You can inhibit all the other muscles from working so that you can get mainly the muscle you're trying to work to do all the work. So in this situation, you know, the handles are there for a reason at the gym. It's so that you pull yourself in, you pull your body in. So I'm going to mimic that at home by just pulling myself into this bench as hard as I can, okay? And if you're not doing this as hard as you can, you're still going to be moving. So you have to give all your effort to pull yourself in so that there's no way that my glutes can work because they're inhibited There's no way that my core can work because I'm locked in. So everything should be locked in. Try it out now. So I'm pulling myself in hard. And then now I'm going to extend my leg, and I'm going to feel it a lot more. So I'm here. Now I'm extending my legs. I'll come back down. Extending my legs, pulling myself in hard. So I can already tell this is a lot more challenging. Like, I didn't feel anything at all before, and now I'm feeling a better contraction. So guys, this is really critical. Your support is really critical. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. Comment below what else you want to see. If you want to see, you know, if the people who are still at the gyms, if you guys want to see how to do exercises properly, you know, with the machines at the gym, I can definitely film a video for you guys with those exercises as well.